What's up, everyone? This is Soul with more Shadowlands alpha coverage. Yeah, let's go with that. Today, I'm going to go over something very specific. I'm going to go over all the abilities and ability upgrades that we're going to learn while leveling in the Shadowlands. But let me make it really clear. Not all classes have had their pass yet, at least that's my impression. For example, rogues, shaman, hunters, and warlocks, they are not learning anything new. There's no rank ups, no new abilities that are learned, but also keep in mind that with this whole unpruning, many of these abilities are going to either feel like they're baseline now, or they're going to be given to us via talents, or they are going to be something that is going to rank up or that you learn as you're leveling from 1 to 50, and not exactly 50 to 60. I'm just talking about, hey, what's going to happen in Shadowlands while you're leveling? Maybe I'll get an upgrade. Maybe I'll get an ability back. And you just want to double check the jump below in the sticky to get to the class that is important to you. So we're gonna go in hopefully alphabetical order, starting with Death Knights. So in general, at level 54, Death Knights are going to learn a Sacrificial Pact, where you sacrifice your ghoul to deal damage to 8 enemies around the explosion, and then you heal for 25% of your maximum health. So this is just something that all Death Knight specs are going to get, a 2-minute cooldown just to get a little bit of life back and some extra damage out. Don't trust the values too much here. I happen to be on a level 50 pre-made, and then of course there's going to be a lot of tuning that's going to be done. Just want to make that clear. Moving on to the Unholy spec, at level 52 they're going to learn Summon Gargoyle. The Gargoyle is going to gain a little bit of damage for every 2 runic power that you spend. Cool. Scourge Strike is upgraded at level 56. It's a rank 2. It just increases the damage done. Whoop-de-doo. And then Dark Transformation, rank 2. It's also going to give your ghoul 100% energy, you know, if it happens to be drained and all that stuff. Coolies. All right, moving on to Blood. Let's see. At level 52, you learn Heart Strike, which just increases the damage by Heart Strike by 20%. Cool. At level 56, Vampiric Blood gets upgraded to increase all healing and absorbs by 5%, and the duration of Vamp Blood by 2 seconds. Also not bad. And then there's Blood Tap, which is something that you learn. This is the one that'll get you some extra rune generation. The recharge time is reduced by 2 seconds whenever a bone shield charge is consumed. And then finally there is Frost. Obliterate ranks up to 2 at level 52, which increases the damage done. Cool. At level 56, you get Empower Rune Weapon. Its cooldown is reduced by 15 seconds. That'll help out a lot too. And then Killing Machine at level 58, that goes up to rank 2, where it makes your next Obliterate also deal some frost damage. Nice. And I suppose I should go over the Rune Forging too, by special request. Thank you, stream. So there are quite a few new runes going. There are quite a few new runes, and I'll just read them off. I'll leave it to your guys, to you Death Knight pros to understand what's going on here. So, Rune of Hysteria. Affixes your rune weapon with a rune that increases maximum runic power by 20, and your attacks have a chance to increase runic power generation by 20% for 8 seconds. Razor Ice, I believe, is like, you've had that already. Sanguination. Affixes your rune weapon with a rune that causes your death strike it makes your death strike deal increased damage based on the target's missing health. When you fall below 35% health, you heal for 48% of your maximum health over 8 seconds. So, I guess if you get hit, it'll just... Oh wow, that's pretty damn cool. I wonder what the cooldown on something like that is. So if I'm getting my ass blasted, I get a whole lot of I get a whole lot of health back. That's pretty good. That's like having a really powerful trinket. And all that, but yeah, I mean, that's how it goes with Death Knight weapon enchants. For spell warding, let's see, this one, it deflects 3% of all spell damage and has a chance to create a shield that absorbs magic damage equal to 10% of your maximum health. When an enemy damages the shield, their cast speed is reduced by 10% for 6. Wow, these are really cool runes. I mean, these seem to be something that makes you feel like, okay, do I need to go back to my Rune Forge like frequently to like swap things out for like a particular fight? That can be kind of annoying, but oh well. Alright, Rune of the Apocalypse. Affixes your rune weapon with a rune that gives your ghouls attacks, so this seems like an unholy thing, mostly, a chance to apply one of the following debuffs to the target. Okay, so there is a debuff called Death, which is healing reduction. There's a debuff called War, that increases damage taken by the Death Knight, and there's Famine, which reduces damage taken by the Death Knight. And there's Pestilence, which slows the target and deals damage over time. Wow, that's pretty cool, especially if you happen... So I wonder if this happens to be like just your main ghoul, or if it's like all of your ghouls. That could be potentially really cool for Unholy. Let's see, Fallen Crusader and Stone Skin, that seems to be familiar. Rune of Unending Thirst. It grants 10% haste and movement speed, and it heals you for 5% of your maximum health when you kill an enemy that yields experience or honor. Additionally, it increases your movement speed while dead by 10%. Okay, whoop-de-doo. So that's not bad. So I'm looking at Demon Hunters right now, but taking a glance at this, at level 52, they get an upgrade to Meta. When you activate Metamorphosis, the cooldown of Eye Beam and Blade Dance is immediately reset. This is for Havoc, I believe. So that's kind of nice, that you could just chain your Eye Beam or whatnot, pop Meta, do it again. So that'll definitely be a plus. All right, so moving on to Druids. In general, let's see, are they going to get anything baseline? No, but as Guardian Druids, they're going to get an upgrade to Frenzied Regen. Frenzied Regeneration increases all healing received by 20%. So, well, that's definitely not bad for an emergency situation. For balance, they get a rank 2 for Starfall at level 54. Casting Starfall extends the duration of active Moonfires and Sunfires by 4 seconds. Damn, that's good. What? I mean, I would say there's more value with the Moonfires than the Sunfires, because Sunfires is just like, boop, you can apply it to a bunch of targets really quick unless they're spread apart. But for active Moonfires, that can be pretty powerful. If you have a whole bunch of them out, you have a bunch of cleaves going, pop Starfall, all of a sudden, boom, you have like you have a even more powerful Mega Dot with Moonfire running. It's not bad. For Feral, sorry guys, they get nothing. And for Restoration, they get quite a bit of stuff. Okay, so they get a rank 2 for Innervate at level 52. If you cast Innervate on somebody else, you gain its effect at 50% effectiveness. Cool, that's something that we're a little familiar with. At level 54, Regrowth gets upgraded. Regrowth's initial heal has a 40% increased chance for a critical effect if the target is already affected by Regrowth. Nice. At level 56, they get a passive Ironbark. Ironbark increases healing from your heal over time effects by 20%. Wow, okay, so that's a nice plus. And then at level 58, they get Nature's Swiftness, which is kind of unusual that they're getting kind of an old ability at almost max level. Your next Regrowth, Rebirth, or Entangling Runes is instant, free, castable in all forms, and heals for and it heals for an additional 100%. Damn! On a 1 minute cooldown. That sounds pretty darn useful. I'm not super on top of whether or not we had that already, but it's kind of nice to have. Alright, Mages definitely got a pass with multiple things. So in general, first thing that they get is Alter Time. Definitely don't worry about the mana cost here. I am on a level 10 character. But yeah, you get Alter Time. 1 minute cooldown. It returns you to your current location and health when cast a second time or after 10 seconds. The effect is negated by long distance or dying. Alright, for the Arcane spec, at level 52, they get an upgrade to Arcane Barrage. Arcane Barrage grants you 2% of your maximum mana per arcane charge spent. Oh, that's not bad. I'm going to say that a lot. I've been saying that a lot. Oh, it's not bad. It's kind of cool. Neat. At level 54, they get an upgrade to Presence of Mind. Arcane Blast can be cast instantly one additional time. Oh, that seems really powerful, especially if you have that lined up with certain Covenant abilities or trinkets or what have you. And then at Arcane Power, they're going to get a rank up where the duration is increased by 5 seconds. Damn, even better! Oh! You know, a lot can happen in 5 seconds, man. That's pretty good. That's really good. All right, so for fire, oops. So for fire, Flame Strike gets up to rank 2. The damage is increased by 15%. Cool. At level 54, Pyroblast gets upgraded to rank 2. It deals an additional bit of damage over 6 seconds. Wait, what? So I thought Pyroblast already did deal a lot of damage. No, it doesn't. And then it's going up to rank 2. Okay, well, there we go. So by the time you get to max level, okay, Pyroblast is going to feel pretty darn good. And then Combustion gets up to rank 2. The duration is increased by another 2 seconds. And any increased combustion uptime is absolutely massive. So really cool. And then finally for Frost, at level 52, Blizzard gets up to rank 3. The damage is increased. Cool. At level 54, Cold Snap, the cooldown is reduced by 30 seconds. And now, I'm trying to, I think Cold Snap, I think is like it's a 5-minute cooldown, so it's not bad. You know, 30 seconds off 5 minutes, that's, you know, it's kind of nice. And then Icy Veins, it ranks up at level 56. The duration of Icy Veins is increased by 3 seconds, which is a nice little boost too. I mean, Icy Veins, you know, you can get some really weird uptime via talents and whatnot. So having a higher base duration of Icy Veins, that ain't nothing to complain about. So monks get a little bit. For brewmasters at level 52, they get a stronger Touch of Death. Touch of Death reduces delayed stagger damage by 200% of damage dealt. That's not knowing monks too well. That does seem pretty good. It reduces the delayed damage. Nice. At level 58, then they get Clash. They finally get Clash. Wow, that's kind of goofy. They get Clash back at level, at close to max level. But Clash is such a fun, it's such a fun sort of taunty kind of ability. So I can't complain about that. For Mistweavers, they're going to get an upgrade to Expel Harm at level 52. Expel Harm can be cast during Soothing Mist and heals the monk and their Soothing Mist target. So not bad. Okay, so moving on to Paladins. Most of what they get, actually everything that they get, is all based on the abilities that that are being restored. So Concentration Aura, that's when we get it, where Interrupt and Silence effects on party and raid members within 40 yards are 30% shorter. We're getting the old ability back, and for multiple paladins, I'm sure that someone's going to run Devotion, someone's going to run Concentration, and some maniac is going to run Retribution Aura, which I'll get to in just a moment. At level 54, they get Sense Undead back, which they can, see undead on the minimap. Woo! Super OP. At level 56, they get Retribution Aura rank 2, where the duration is increased by 4 seconds. Now, I should probably take a look and show you guys what Retribution Aura does. When any party or raid member within 40 yards dies, you gain Avenging Wrath for 8 seconds. So that goes up to 12 seconds. I still think this is an awful thing, because it's something that you can only count on when you know that people are going to die. And I just don't see a whole lot of value with that. But oh well, that's just me. And then finally, Hammer of Wrath. At level 58, it gets upgraded. Hammer of Wrath may be used on any target during Avenging Wrath, which is not bad. I think that there are other things that can be done with Hammer of Wrath, and I've been sending Blizzard some feedback on how that can be improved. All right, moving on to Priestesses. In general, at level 52, they're going to get Mind Soothe. Cool. Reducing range, which I think is going to be like low-key powerful in like Mythic Plus. Let's see how that Let's see how that works out. If there's going to be like that one pack that you can sneak by if you happen to have a priest with you and you can use Mind Tooth. Because remember, this is going to be a general ability for all priests. Let's see how that works though. At level 54, they get an upgrade to Mass Dispel, which makes Mass Dispel potent enough to remove some magic that is normally undispellable. So I don't know if this is like a... I don't know if this is returning it to like certain levels, you know, to a level that we're used to. Like, is it getting nerfed and then it's going to come back as a spell rank? Or if it's in fact going to cleanse stuff that is normally undispellable. Because normally Mass Dispel would remove bubbles, right? Unless my memories have been like totally like altered over time. And at level 58, priests are going to get Power Infusion. Infuses the target with power for 20 seconds, increasing haste by 25%. And so it's going to be huge either for the priest, who is probably going to be the most likely one that's going to use it, because, you know, it's all about me, or they can use it on someone else. Like a greedy DPS that insists that the priest use Power Infusion on them, otherwise they're bad, and then they get kicked from the group. And so on and so forth. But it's still gonna be a really powerful cooldown for a priest to have. So let's at least stop there, right? And last but not least, warriors. Okay, so for warriors in general, they're going to get challenging shouts. They're going to get challenging shouts. So it's going to taunt all enemies within 10 yards to attack you for 6 seconds. God, I want to get that back for Paladins. You know what I want to get back for Paladins? I want to get, you know, why am I talking about this? Let's stick to warriors. Great. They're getting a taunt all enemies thing. Go warriors. At level 56, they get ranked to a rallying cry, which will grant a little bit more temporary and maximum health. So a nice little buff there. Moving on to Fury. They're going to get rank 2 of Recklessness, which increases the duration by 2 seconds at level 52. So that's a pretty sweet and early upgrade. And at level 58, they get rank 4 of Executes, which just increases the damage by a little bit more. Nice. Arms Warriors, at level 52, they're getting Die by the Sword. The cooldown of Die by the Sword is going to be reduced by 60 seconds, where right now it is at 3 minutes. So that's a pretty significant buff. Nice. And then at level 58, they get Sweeping Strikes, where the duration is going to be increased by 3 seconds, which will give them another couple of swings. Normally, it lasts for 12 seconds, so it'll take it to 15 seconds. Nice. Or for Prot Warriors, at level 52, their avatar goes up to rank 2, where it generates additional rage on top of its base value. And then at level 58, they get rank 2 of Shield Wall, which will reduce some additional damage. Nice. So that is all the classes for now. Just as another reminder, this is alpha, and there are a number of classes that didn't get touched yet, so don't feel bad, or actually, go ahead and feel bad. Get mad and tell Blizzard to, hey, what about my class? Leave them some feedback, or send out a tweet, or leave a comment below expressing your hatred or your concerns. But that's going to be it for now. Stay tuned for future builds when, hey, who knows, maybe we'll get changes and other passes where we'll get to see things that we learn while leveling in Shadowlands. But anyway, thanks for coming. Don't forget to like the video if this was helpful, and to subscribe for more of this and Shadowlands coverage and all things Warcraft. See you next time. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.